A return for Benjamin Sesko earlier than anticipated. Some reports saying that Benjamin Sesko could even be involved against Bournemouth on Monday night. And it's interesting because, look, Benjamin Sesko's start to life at Man United has been a little bit up and down. You know, he's been in and out of the team where we probably thought as fans he was more ready for this league and our club than we thought. The manager had different opinions to that. We've seen some good bits from him, some nice little bit of hold-up play, couple of goals. Other people will start to tell us that he's a dud, he's terrible, he's this, he's that, and he's far-fetched. We know that he's doing all right. But it's going to be interesting because AFCON obviously is kicking in. There's a reshuffle that probably needs to happen at the top end of the pitch. He's going to take a little while to go. You thought Xerxes would probably go on this extended run. He was already back on the bench for the last game against Wolves. So what happens with what's going on with Benjamin Sesko when he gets back? How long is he going to take to get going again? Will we get to see like a real strong second half of the season from him? Or does this season just go into the bag of first year, needed time to settle, the best is to come? He's not ready yet. That's why we need an older, experienced striker to help him. Let me know what you guys are saying, man, in the comments. But for me, any panic about Benjamin Sesko and bad word and cussing, I ain't really trying to hear it yet. It's still too early. And clearly, he's had his injury problems, which proves he wasn't some fake character who just didn't want to carry on and his knee wasn't really that hurt against Spurs. We ain't seen him since, mate. Yeah, it seems like a pretty significant injury to me. Welcome to the show. Big up to each and every single one of you. Smash a like on the video. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. I just saw Paul Pogba has partnered with the world's first camel racing team or something I just saw. So happy Hump Day in the name of Paul Pogba. Yeah, if you're into your camel racing and stuff, or you're into your middle of the week where you're like, it's Hump Day, big up to you. Big up to you.
Yeah, well, certainly with camels, you know, they've got good stamina, don't they? Can survive in the desert, can hold on to water for a long period of time. I tell you what could improve your stamina, your fitness. It's a bit of this.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months. And KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds. And Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes, let's get to work indeed. You can scan the QR code right there. You can save up to 70% off. It's over there. You can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get your Optimum Night, which is good for your restorative sleep. You can get them individually or combined. Stack them any way you please right there. Yes. Every morning it changes, isn't it? Every morning it changes.
You got to mix it up. You got to mix it up.
Sometimes they're maracas. Sometimes, you know, as always, all the information is in the video description below. You can click the link, scan the QR code, find out all the info, and get optimized today. Optimized. I was just saying, I'm thinking, Flex. This is why I was kind of smiling and giggling. I'm just going to send you a link because I know you know quite a few people in this club. You know. In Watford, I'm talking about. Just have a look what the boys went on their TikTok this morning. By the way, talk about a club in like chaos. It's a madness.
So someone's hacked the actual official.
Apparently so. Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, it was all kicking off. But yes, Fleck, you mentioned Benjamin Sesko. Where's my voice? Where's my voice?
Benjamin Sesko.
Or I can add the background music because people do like the background music.
Yes, they do.
Benjamin Sesko.
There's a lot going on with that. It's very dramatic.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, there's Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that. Sesko could be back. Sesko could be back by Bournemouth on a Monday, which is, like you said, a little bit earlier than anticipated, than expected. A report came out yesterday from Rob Dorsett from Sky, which is interesting because when Sky kind of do these things, they're kind of told by the club, Sesko could be back. So that would suggest that maybe, yes, this could be a real thing, saying that Benjamin Sesko is close to a return from injury and could feature against Bournemouth. Now we get into the semantics, of course. What does feature mean? Does it mean he's on the bench? Does he even get on? 5-minute cameo? Does it what is known as Cobby minutes? Does he get Cobby minutes? Which could be no minutes at all.
Yeah.
What is that situation? If he is available, what does Ruben Amorim go with? I'm going to be honest, Fleck. I did kind of chuckle to myself a little bit when you did that intro, because when you were saying, I don't want to talk about whether it's too soon to say, is he a dud, is he this, is he that? I tuned into the Flex and KG show last night.
Yeah.
And it was.
I never said he was.
No.
Oh.
I tuned into Flex and KG show last night, and it was a discussion on, let's have a Cunha discussion. Now, is it fair to say about Benjamin Sesko it's too early to write him off, but we're having serious discussions about Matheus Cunha? Is that a smidge?
No.
Is that a smidge of hypocrisy?
No, it's not, because the meaning of the let's have a serious Cunha talk was in comparison to a senior player who's played in the league before, very experienced, and in comparison to what KG was saying to diminish what Mount's doing. So let's keep it kind of even. Now, Sesko's been out with a knee, quite a serious knee injury, as we've clearly just seen. So he's been out for about...
Could have played on.
Yeah, could have played on. But he's been out. He's a young player that's new to the league. I think our expectations of Sesko coming here are different to the expectations of what we expect straight out of the blocks from somebody like Benjamin Sesko. So, no, I think that the Cunha thing was needed because I feel like there wasn't enough. I don't think we were talking about it in how it needs to be spoken about, because we're a bit scared, because we're like, no, he's going to be good, it's fine. It's I know we can say all of that, but like Mason Mount's doing better than him right now. Let's just say that. And Mason Mount does deserve to start as head of him if there's a choice. No, he's got a bit like, so that's why that happened. The Sesko thing is completely different, because as we've seen from as soon as he got here, when we was like, start him against Arsenal, start him against Burnley, start him against Fulham, and he didn't start any of those games. It was like, where is he? It's clearly like he's young, he's not that ready. Then we see him start the first few games or play the first, and he go, a bit raw, a bit rusty, just got loads of things to work on. Then he has a little middle period where the team's still playing shit, but he scores a couple goals, does all right against Sunderland, does all right against Brentford, does all right against Chelsea at home, a couple little games. Then he goes a little bit quieter, but again, the team's not great. Then he gets injured, and then now we're here. So,
against Liverpool, he actually did all right, didn't he? He was, it was
nice little hold-up play. Nice little
it was one of those ones, wasn't it, where we were a bit
surprised. Hypocrisy. No,
yeah,
it doesn't.
Well, what you found there, Flex, is I just wanted to touch on it because it's nuance, isn't it? And that is very much lost in the Manchester United fan base at the moment, indeed. As All Elite says, people in the comments went mad. Poisonous channel having a chat about we want to succeed and struggling a bit. It was a great. People in the comments went mad. Oh yeah, it was.
I didn't check. I just thought we was having a healthy conversation to just talk about stuff.
No. It's a great
people
case
study.
The
title think we're handing them out. Okay,
yeah. It's a great case study in. I've just seen the title, the thumbnail. Have you watched the video? No. I'm going to make my judgment based off the title and thumbnail, which, like you said, if you have the discussion about Matheus Cunha, I said it for the West Ham game. I didn't want him to come straight back in because I thought, well, Mason Mount's been doing all right. Scored against Crystal Palace. Cunha's just come back from an injury. And also before he got the injury, he wasn't playing great. So it's a squad game, isn't it? You should play players that are in form. No. And there should be the same thing for Benjamin Sesko, right? That's why I thought it was unlucky that Xerxes got dropped for the Wolves game, because
exactly.
he's been doing okay recently. Now, obviously, you can make the argument that really nobody's in form in this Man United team. So what constitutes that? But Xerxes had scored a goal against Palace, had been all right against West Ham, as much as anyone was, but he was all right. And he went with the decision to play Cunha, and Cunha was a bit absent for a lot of that for that Wolves game, wasn't he? I mean, had the one off the line, I suppose, but you get my point. You know, we've been talking about that for a while with Mateus Cunha. So I don't, and also just saying that maybe someone needs to be taken out or this player should be playing over it. That's not like
get them out my club.
Yeah, it's far from it. I mean, it would be like the equivalent of, okay, we're going to have your yearly one-to-one. How have you been doing? Right, we think you've done really well here. These are the points I'm looking for you to improve this year. I'm looking for you to do this. Why do you hate me? You go, sorry? Sorry. I'm looking, you've done this. I'm looking just to step up a little bit in this area. Can you just come out and say that you don't like me? You go, no, it's just constructive criticism.
Like,
you know what I mean? That's how it works, isn't it? You know
especially
what I mean?
obviously, like, we have content, we make content, and you talk about what's going on within your team. That's what we make a community to talk about.
It's not even a content thing. I don't think it's a content thing.
No, just discussion based. Like, it's just conversations you just have.
Yeah,
it's like you can say that about like any player,
anyone.
Let's have an honest conversation about Lisandro Martinez coming back. Let's have an honest conversation about Sonny Lummons. Tell you what, like, really good. Like, this has been so. Let's have an honest conversation about Ahmad, right wing back.
Yeah,
has he been consistent enough? Are you liking what you see? It's just healthy conversation, healthy discussion. Yeah. Like, that's it. That's it. So if you take it as like, look at this, trying to force out our number 11 already, number 10, sorry,
10.
You're trying to force him out. You don't want him here. This is the problem with the fan base. All it does is show that you didn't watch or participate in the conversation we had in the discussion, because that wasn't what it was about. And, you know, having an honest conversation about a topic doesn't mean let's talk about this honestly, because he shouldn't be at our clubs. He shouldn't be at our club. He should be gone. Yeah. So let's talk about this honestly. It's not that. So, and this proves why I think we did. I've seen a lot of people talking about it recently, indirectly and directly. And I wanted to bring that to our community because, you know, it's all good. What we do is have big opinions when the players get here and rank them really highly and say, I can't wait for him to play. This is exactly what we need. Premier League experience so we can hit the ground running. You don't have to really wait for a bedding in period. You get rid of Garnacho, you get him. Goals, assists, 14 goals for Wolves last year, 12/13 the year before that or something like that, maybe a bit more. Like, very, very good player. But then you can take that when you go strong in August and then go, so now it's December. How do we assess the opening months of what have you seen? What have I seen? What have they seen? What do we think is going to come after this? What are we looking more for? What have you been really impressed with? It's just healthy discussion.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think it's healthy to say, because we do it. You're right. When we sign players, like
it's loud,
Cunha,
we're loud.
Sesko, whatever, we have expectations. And then, like you say, we get to December and you go, okay, against those expectations I had, are they being met? Are they not being met? If they're not being met, why aren't they being met? Is it because of the players? Is it because of the situation? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? You know, I get certainly back the players irrespective, cool. But amongst yourselves, amongst fellow fans, you can have that debate. You can have that talk. Well, if you can't, we might as well sit here in silence. My goodness me, and sit on our hands and not say anything. I think with Cunha, this is why a couple of weeks ago on red carpet, when it was like, nah, and look, those guys were right, and that Cunha did start when he came straight back in. And like I said, I wasn't an advocate for that because I think you should be playing the players that are playing the best, you know, radical thinking, I know. And with Cunha, he's a bit stop and start. I do think there are some mitigating circumstances, certainly with him, because as we saw on Monday, he's been moved out of position a couple of times, hasn't he? False 9, then left 10, and then false 9, and then an injury out the team. He's been far less stable in position than Brian Mbeumo has. And even Mbeumo recently, he's had a bit of a struggle too. All of the signings, maybe bar Lummons, that you can really think of, have struggled at certain points, you know, some more than others. You would probably say Sesko's maybe struggled the most, but again, had a slow start to the season in terms of pre-season, took a while to get in. When he was actually scoring goals, ironically, it was in that period of time, like against sort of Brentford and that, where we weren't playing that great. You know, we sort of were stumbling around a little bit, weren't we? And of course, he's had this injury, and he's another one that's been in and out of the team. Some games he's trusted by Ruben to play. Some games he's not. Some games he would rather go with the Cunha false nine or somebody else false nine. So that is even the interesting point about Sesko coming back against Bournemouth, isn't it? Is is that he's not going to start. He'd be on the bench if he's featuring. Come on, is when does he get that regular run in the team? Because as we've seen, different games call for different stuff, and different games Ruben fancies the false nine kind of thing. So is he going to get that sort of long, run of games this season where he's going to start a lot of games? Because I don't know. I don't know. But he's a young guy, but also he's a very expensive guy that does have a lot of hype, and it does get mixed in with those other players of Cunha and Mbumo, whereby the expectation is to hit ground running. You know what I mean? To be like you're the striker for Manchester United. You've got to be scoring goals. You've got to be, you've got to be putting the ball in the back of the net. And if you don't, the same discussions are going to come up, aren't they? Of like, oh, is it this? Is it that? You see these discussions about Victor Gyökeres at the moment at Arsenal, don't you? Of similar, striker signed at the same time, signed for a bit less, but even now they're like, hey, he got injured in Arsenal, maybe played a bit better without him. Is he the right guy?
Wait till Kai Havertz gets back. He's probably better without him. Marino's doing better.
Exactly.
You get these question marks.
That's what happens with new signings. That's how it goes.
So again, you always say about talking out of both sides of our mouth. Like, that's what we try to do. We try to get all loud and say this, hold that, look, a great bit of business, amazing, release clause paid, I've got Cunha. But then we're not allowed on December the 10th, or December the 9th at the time, to just say, like, how do we think this is going? And talk about it honestly. Do you know what I mean? Without people, crying like little kids in the comments, which I haven't seen, but you just told me. So I'm just like, I couldn't even look. But yeah, to me, that's wild. That's just, you want to have your cake and eat it. Like, you can't scream out of this side of your mouth, he's the best thing since sliced bread. No, you wait till he plays against you. We got this. You know what I mean? Now, when we do combine 11s, he's getting in. We have all of this stuff. But then when we, on this side of your mouth, you go, yeah, I don't know. He scored a goal, but I don't want to talk about how he's been playing or that. But that's Xerxes. I tell you what, he needs to fucking, keep cussing out Ugarte or keep cussing out. Well, just talk about them all the same. Do you know what I mean? If someone's not good or hasn't been that good or needs to improve, say it. If they've been fine or you believe they're going to be, it's okay. You are allowed to say it. Doesn't make you toxic. Doesn't mean you're trying to drive them out the club. Doesn't mean you have an agenda. You can say it, bro. It's fine. But with Sesko,
you can't.
Yeah, you can't. But with Sesko, I said this a few times. Like, I did learn very quickly what I was getting or what I was watching. You know what I mean? Shout out Kev Hatchard. Because I feel like we got him at a time where there's a lot of hype about him. So I'm thinking he was like more advanced or further on than what we've seen. So that's probably wrong of me to think that. I had to realign my expectations after looking at him the first few times. I mean, he's got some attributes there, but I could definitely see why Ruben hasn't played him yet. He looks a bit off it. Then he started getting into form a little. Let's say into form, but getting a bit more comfortable. Gets a goal against Brentford, then backs that straight up with a goal against Sunderland. I think it was, wasn't it? So he got 2-2 at that point. He won the header that led to Mbeumo getting Chalobah sent off. That was Sanchez getting sent off. Come on against Liverpool, decent little cameo. There was some good hold-up play in that game against, was it Brighton? No, he was injured then. It was against Sunderland when once he'd scored, he was also laying on a couple of chances for a couple of others. I remember he was playing all right in that game. I think it was Sunderland. Or did he play against Brighton? My mind might have. When Cunha got his first goal, Sesko was injured because that was. No, Brighton, then we played Spurs.
Yeah, so
Brighton, then we played Forest.
Break. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so no, it was Brighton, then we played Forest, and he should have come off. We were like,
he started against
Forest, and then he came off the bench against Spurs.
He started against Brighton, yeah.
So that game, he played well.
I think the part of the other issue with Sesko as well is because we've been, linked to him for such a long period of time. 2 summers in a row, wasn't it? Or however, the fact that I got this voice, the
Benjamin Sesko
thing is because it was it's gone on for years, isn't it? And when you sort of are linked to someone for such a long period of time, that adds expectation certainly as well, doesn't it? But look, it's good to have players back, because we've said it a lot of the times when in the last few games, when the team news comes out and you look at, and with the meltdown inevitably happens, because it always does. And you look towards the bench, you go, who's Ruben going to bring on? And the bench hasn't really excited us all that much, has it? You go, well, he's not got a lot of options there, or not got a lot of options he wants to use as well. So even if you have Sesko, regardless of your opinion about whether he's good, bad, or indifferent, just to have that extra option, have someone that you can put balls in the box. I mean, you know what is really weird? What is weird is that for whatever reason, we decide to cross more when he's not on the pitch. when he is on the pitch, suddenly we're not crossing as much. And then suddenly when he either comes off or gets injured, suddenly we're happy to whip balls in the box. We were doing it for fun. Was it against West Ham? Go putting crosses in the box all the time. And we had barely any height on the pitch. And you're going, well, who are you crossing the ball in for? We did it against Everton as well. Putting the ball in the box, and we've got no one around the pitch is really sort of, going to win headers. It was like, oh, okay. But, with Sesko in there, hopefully that will help things when it comes to that as well. So a bit of a quick recovery, but even if he does feature against Bournemouth, I think it'll only be a cameo.
Yeah, it will. It will be a cameo. I can't see him coming back like strong like that, just out the blocks after a knee injury. Show says Cunha and Mbeumo have been exactly the same in performances, but Mbeumo can get goals. That's the difference. System is killing them both. And Glenn says when you see the over the top negative stuff on another channel, I guess some people might be quick to jump on everyone for anything. I think the way people consume content across our whole environment, our whole, communities, ecosystem, different channels, different voices, different people, different ways of doing things, different views. That can happen. Some people can, go watch one thing and then go watch another and then go watch a third and then group them all together. Some people can, not want to watch any of it because someone annoyed them. Like it's all personal opinion, isn't it? It's all personal preference.
Yeah,
that's why there's so many platforms that exist, because you can go and find a little bit of what suits yourself. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a different channels kind of thing as well. I think it's just a media thing. Nowadays, I think just in general, because of the way that media works, and even like mainstream media or legacy media, if you want to call it that, and whatever, people, the critical thing nowadays is the headline and the opening paragraph. And it's the same in what we do, right? So when people, because that's what people largely just read, and then they won't watch the whole thing, or they won't read the whole thing or whatever. So I do it myself. I think everyone does it. You make your mind up about what the article, what the video, what anything is about based off that one thing you read. And then a lot of the time, how often have you seen stuff, or you go, look at that headline, and they go, have you read the article? And you go, oh, actually, let me read the article. Well, how many times have we done it when you go, oh, did you see that on the aggregator account? And you go, did you read the article though? No, I didn't read the article. Bit different. Oh, did you see that quote online? Did you watch the press conference? No, I didn't watch the press conference. Yes, the context is a little bit different.
Hear how we said it. Yes,
we're all guilty of it. So I think it's that. But it is best practice to try and get as much context as you possibly can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, as Ash says in the chat, it's true. Like with the Salah stuff the last few days, and we've lived it. Like with the Ronaldo stuff, or Rashford stuff, or with the Sancho stuff, you just see all of this different stuff. And you go, did you know that they said this? Well, they didn't actually really say that. They kind of said it this way. Well, did you know that he did this? Well, that's not really that true, because that happens with a lot of players. A lot of players do that. But did you know that they asked for this? That's kind of normal, actually. We just don't really talk about it that much. Then it gets built into a whole big thing. That's kind of how
interesting.
It goes.
Show said that Cunha and Mbeumo have been exactly the same in performances, but Mbeumo can get goals. That's the difference. System is killing them both. I see a few people in the chat there sort of saying don't agree with that. Show, they're saying that it's not the system. I know it's boring, Owen, and I don't mean like, do you think he should change it? I'm not going to ask you, not going to go to that. But in terms of Cunha and Mbeumo, he's saying that they've been exactly the same in performance levels. It's just that Mbeumo's got more goals. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't say exactly the same, because earlier on in the season, I know Mbeumo's performances last couple of games have been lower. They have, and like I said before, he caught the bozo gene, and that's kind of freaked me out. But earlier on this season, I would say that Mbeumo was offering more. I mean, Cunha had his first like 2 matches. He was all right against Arsenal second half. He was okay against Fulham. But I think Mbumo's been better. If I overall, and it's not even just an output goals and assisting, but they're kind of judged on that. But Mbumo has been better in terms of like the system affecting them or the system impacting. I mean, I don't know what more needs to be said about that. That's why, you know, I was saying about being defeated and being depressed about it and whatever, is because I do worry that but the answer to we were sort of saying this before, weren't we? The answer seems to be, well, look, Ruben's not going anywhere. He's not changing the system. So the antidote to get better is to get more players in. We need to get more players in. But as we're talking about here, some of the players that we're bringing in, like Cunha, like Mbumo, we're sort of going, like Sesko, we're going, yeah, do they kind of sit, you know, fit in this system? Are we still doing square pegs, round holes? And, you know, can they get the best out of them or whatever? And that does worry me a little bit for future transfer windows, because that's when I start feeling really defeated. That's when I start feeling really, well, are we going to be able to bring anyone in then that's going to make a massive difference? Obviously, you bring players in. Yeah. If you fill a team with better players, all right, you're going to be better. But in terms of like cohesive, playing liquid football, doing this, doing that, it's like, are players going to change that? Or is the ceiling just where the ceiling is? And regardless of who you bring in, you're just going to be bashing against that ceiling. It's not going to get raised anymore.
Some people think that because they don't think Amram's good enough. Like, he doesn't matter who you buy him.
How high can the ceiling be raised? That's kind of like my worry. My worry is, like, let's say in the summer, yeah, we do go get those 2 midfielders and we spend loads of money on those midfielders and Ruben's still here. All right, we'll probably get better because you've got better players and they can get around the pitch better. But I'm just a bit like, how much better can that actually make us with this framework? You know, that's kind of my worry with that, you know.
And that's the key. That's the bit where obviously time will tell. There's a lot of people that are, like you say, worried about that they're saying it's not just about buying better players. They don't have faith in Ruben Amorim. They're saying he's not a good coach. The people who are, you know, you're just saying he needs to leave now.
I don't even know if he's not a good coach. I just think, you know, is he stubborn? Yes. Well, this is the weird thing with Ruben, yeah, because he's stubborn but not stubborn. You know what I mean? So, and he is a walking contradiction. He's no different from a lot of other managers in that case, because I won't change for the Pope. And then in the next interview, he'll be like, yeah, we changed some things recently. We went long starting at Anfield. And he went, why did we go long?
But when he says I won't change for the Pope, he means like
that framework,
the
I think.
System. He does. We can't take it too literally. Like, obviously, when he says that, he means I'm not going to a 4-4-3. I'm not going to a 4-4-2.
But then this is what's crazy, Flex.
But within it, I'll change. He still had 3 centre backs on every single game.
But then people buy into this because when he does change, like you said, he openly goes, I'm going to go long. You know, we went long from the Liverpool game, and we did that. Why? Because we couldn't really keep the ball, which basically we can't pass the ball, so we decided to go long. But because he said, I'm not going to change for the Pope, when you do say, oh, well, he did tweak that game, that's when you get the, no, he didn't, because he said he wasn't going to do it, blah, blah, blah. And you go, yeah, but he said he changed. Yeah, but he said he wouldn't change for the for the Pope. And it's just, I don't know. And it's just, like I said, the transfer window stuff, it does kind of just concern me, because I do think you bring better players in, you get better. But I just worry about how high is that ceiling for us to get better? You know, that worries me. And also, as we've said before, you've got to earn those transfer windows. You know, when you come in, you're a fresh manager, and every manager gets a couple of windows. All right, cool, yep. But then those future ones, you have to earn it, don't you? You have to earn it and go, okay, why are we backing you with this money? It's like getting funding for a business. You go to a bank. This is my business plan. I'm expected to make X amount of revenue by this date. All right, if you hit those things, okay, we can approve a loan. We can approve some funding. You go to an investor. You go on Dragon's Den. They always go, what's your sales at this point? How much you making? What's your profit margin on that? And then if it's shit, if you go, well, actually, I've not really made much money, but the idea is great. They'll be like, well, I'm out. I'm out. I need to see money. Are you making money? Are you selling products here? What are you doing? And they'll be like, if you just went, well, last year was the worst year on record. And those other revenue streams, i.e. Europe and that, I don't have anymore. But I'm looking for, £200 million. How much equity in the business? And you just got to back me blindly.
Yeah,
They'd be
just
like,
yeah,
well,
just,
well,
yeah.
well,
No percent, 1%.
yeah,
1%.
exactly. You've got to give something, ain't you? So yeah, that's kind of my worry. But you said, Ruben, we're currently 6th in the table. Was it 3rd most shots in the league at the moment? I saw even the Premier League Twitter account was trying to sort of hype us up, going, Man United hit form at the right time. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. One loss in 9. And we were talking about this yesterday. This is what I wanted to ask you, because it is interesting. We were talking, so KG was getting cussed out because he dropped in his monologue that, like, yeah, because we've progressed, so, and then they went, as soon as he said the P word, progress, they went in the chat, are you having a laugh? Progression, we've progressed. And then you know what the KG's like, that set him off. Guys, we were losing every week last year. Like, we've got a bit, like, we're 6th, like we're better. Like, so then I thought, let me do it, Owen. Let me go and let's do numbers. Let's do factual information. So I went and got the table from this time last year, December 24. And it was 2 games out. So I got it from Christmas Eve. So we'd played 17 games. Cut a long story short, we are 5 points better off having played 2 games less, because in 2 games' time we'll be at Christmas Eve, than this time last year. We looked at the goals scored. I think we'd scored more goals. Yeah, that's it. We had a -1 goal difference at the time of playing 17 games. And already we've got a +4, which you could argue in the next 2 games could go back the other way. But we've already got more points than 17 games. So we've already beat the total, even if we'd lost the next 2. So, KG, so I was like, well, KG, to be fair, to back up your point, we have marginally got better. Yeah. Then it's a shit league. Can't say that. There's no progress. And then I was sort of giving devil's advocate of like, well, progress, I think, when you look at the performances, though, KG, there's a reason why we're going into Wolves going, don't know, you're not winning at home against West Ham, the Everton game. So in terms of performances, we haven't really got any better, but the season has allowed us to be more condensed because the level of opposition, it is a bit more condensed and it isn't as good. So you do have to take that too. And then I just basically, my closing thing was, this is why it's very difficult to say how good or bad we truly are at the minute. But yeah, your thoughts on like the word progress, like, have we made progress? Have we made progress?
Yeah, this is when it gets into like the semantic stuff again, isn't it? You know what I mean? What?
Oh, and then he went he said, and then he went. I was like, progress, and he went. Obviously, he's gone and got the actual definition.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like meaning better. I can't remember the exact thing, but he read it out and was like, "That's what we've done. We've got a bit better. Like, we're a bit better."
I mean. It's basically the debate isn't about whether or not we've progressed. The debate is, what do you define as progress? That's the debate, because for some it will be, well, look, my definition of progress is, like I was just saying, the Dragon's Den principle. Numbers on the board. What's your numbers? Are your numbers better than they were last season? And you look at it and you go, my numbers are better than they were last season. So you go, right, that's progress. Others will say, well, my definition of progress is I want to see the team playing better. And we've had these really bad results against the likes of Everton and West Ham, and along with bad performance. And after a year and money spent and the promises being made, I expect to see more. So, you know, the real thing is, and
we need to do a
it's difficult. It's difficult to judge progress in it. You know what I mean? At this point of the season, the real progress will be called at the end of it. You know, if we end up qualifying for Europe from last season, that's progress, isn't it? You finish 15th, but others will say, because this is the other part of it, because it's not, there isn't an answer really. There isn't really an answer. There isn't a defined answer to this, because the fact that we went in to that Wolves game on Monday, Flex, and there was a genuine belief that we could lose that game, that would suggest that you go, well, where does that come from? That comes from clearly feeling that there's no progress.
But on the other side of that, Owen, people will say that you feel like that.
That's what I mean. I was just about to go, but then others will say, well, I don't feel like that, because I believe that this team has progressed and they are going to score more goals. They have scored more goals. And look at the swing. Look at the swing. We went from 12th in the league, bottom half, to a European spot, 6th position. You know, it's not
In one
Champions
game.
League, but
Yeah.
in one game. So what really we're now judging this on, we're judging it on, like, the difference between progress is actually one result, isn't it?
Game to
One
game,
result.
yeah, literally 90 minutes, 90 minutes.
Because if we'd have drawn that game or we'd have lost that game, we would have still been in mid-table. That would have been, there's no progress. But we beat bottom of the league, arguably the worst Premier League team in history, and now it's like, well, there's progress for now. So that's why I say, like, actually, to suggest there's progress, if you can swing that much in the Premier League in one game, then maybe it's not the best time to judge whether there's progress. Because we're going game to game. How much we've progressed or not progressed is literally game to game at this point. If we lost next Monday, because the league we're playing again last, and loads of people have overtaken us, and we find ourselves back in the middle of position, then it'll be like, there's no progress now. There's no progress. So
chat's going off. The chat's going off, mate. It is.
Because again, it's a definition of what do you consider progress. It's what do you consider progress, isn't it?
And people are saying that the bar was so low, he's progressed from the standard he set, which was like, we've never seen that
15th.
low before. Yeah.
It's always going to be progress.
So he's done better from there. But I agree with, like, in terms of overall to say we've progressed, I would probably be more on the side of waiting more because it's still condensed. I think that point about winning one game and going up the positions that far. So that means if we mess it up against Bournemouth and go back to 12th, what
does that
mean we've not progressed then when we had progress last week? Or would you still say we've progressed? I said we're still very inconsistent. So performances have not got better. I was like, from Brighton to now, essentially, because we had those 3 games that we won in a row, which were, were those 3 games even really good? Sunderland was good. Brighton was good. What was the first one we won in that run?
Was it Sunderland?
Sunderland, Brighton. Brighton was the last game.
It would have been Sunderland, Liverpool, Brighton. They were the
so those 3. So we won those 3, and those were good games. Those were good performances.
Yeah.
So from the Brighton game, which would have been Forest, Spurs, Everton, Palace, Wolves, the performances haven't been good. The Wolves one, you'd go, it's hard to say it was good because of how shit the opposition was, but you say they did well. They did what they're supposed to do. 1-4-1 comfortable fares, I give it. But when we saw it against Forest and Palace for large parts, and, you know, at home the last 2 games, those performances haven't been good. So that doesn't signify progress. That signifies you're still inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get. You've just about managed to be on the right side of results in a league that is fluctuating game by game. So to definitively say we are better, I think is probably too much. But when you look at the league position and say, are you on course for what you wanted to achieve? You say yes. And for me, that's the question I'm trying to see. I know you can shape your narrative of where you want to be. You say you're avoiding it, but I'm saying whether we've progressed enough or not at this stage is probably not the most important thing.
That's the key one there. That's the key, because I think that's where I think that it's kind of getting a bit misconstrued, because I think if you say, have we progressed? Well, like I said, I'm more of a numbers guy. So I'll look at numbers on the board and I'll go, well, yeah, all right. Technically, yeah, we progressed. An issue with that is that the standards were so on the floor from last season. It's not that difficult to progress from 15th. You know, we could be 12th, and that is technically progress, right? So that's the difficult thing.
Yeah.
It's really about how much progression I think people were hoping for or expecting. That's the real thing here. I've seen that in the chat this morning, whereby you go, all right, have we progressed? Have we progressed from last season? Yes, but I think we should have progressed more, or I expected more. I want more. We should be doing more. That's really the key thing here. You know, and what is the progression based on? Is the progression based on the fact that we've got better, or is the progression based off the fact that the league's got worse? Maybe a little bit of both there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A little bit of both. We maybe got marginally better. Other teams have maybe got, or the league has got a bit marginally worse, and the fact that it's so tight.
And maybe not even worse, you know. It's more like at this stage, coming up to Christmas, the league hasn't really had much consistency in it from said teams. But from January to May, that could change, and you get left behind. Do you know what I mean?
And like I said, and I know I sound like a broken record with this, but results change everything. Because let's say, right, against Bournemouth next Monday, we beat them,
We win,
and then
yeah.
suddenly it is, oh, we've lost one game in 10, and now we're picking up some wins, and
Yeah.
now we're like, who knows where we'll
Like
be
that form
if
is
we win.
progress.
If we win that game, then suddenly that'll be, we have made progress. So that's why, as of now, in December, I think it's easier in like halfway through the season where we're at in December to say whether you haven't made progress. I.e., if we were still bottom half comfortably, then you go, look, we haven't made progress. Because where we are in the league at the moment, we're going to have to wait till the end of the season, aren't we? We're going to have to wait till the end of the season to see how much progression we've actually made. Have we made progress? Because let's face it, if the season ended tomorrow and we finished 6th, right? We go, well, we've made progress. Whether you like the performances or not, whether you think it's sustainable long term or not, you'd be like, I'll tell you what, we'll go back playing 2 games a week next season. Thank God.
There's a few sides to what progress can look like from where we are. That's why. So there's the side of, right, well, obviously you was in the bottom half. So you're now in the top half. Tick.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, your Man United, though, should be competing for a title. Like the bar's low. So you finishing 6th is not that great. So you go cross. Some people will say.
But then you go, when was the last time you competed for a title?
Exactly. Exactly. But this is why some people can't get on board that we've made progress, because they're like, standards on the floor, mate. But I think when your standards
they're never going to be pleased, are they? They're never going to be pleased.
When your standards are on the floor, you have to, I think personally, this is what I do agree with, you do have to take incremental steps to get back to where you are. And all of them are valid. So if you finish in the bottom half last year, and now you're in the top half consistently, you're not really ever in the bottom half, you go, right, that's a tick. If you finished higher up the league, as in like you got back into Europe, that's a tick. If you're better at set pieces and you're scoring more of them and you never used to, that's improvement. If you have only lost 1 game in 9, to be fair, that's an improvement from last season, because we were losing every other game. So far in small metric, in like individual metrics, you go, yeah, that's true. But then when you look at the performances, how are they filling you with confidence to feel that you're a better team? So you're confident against this team, confident against team, and not even just confidence, the actual results that happen. So I keep harping on about it, but the Brentford, the Man City, the Everton, the West Ham, these types of games where we've got done, you're going, well, no, it's not really. I don't see, with my eyes, with how we play football, I don't actually see much progress, but I see a better outcome. Why is that? I've seen us look better as an outcome because, like you say, the league condensed. We've nicked a couple, so we've gone higher than maybe we would have done on in a different season. But with my eyes, with how we move the ball, what we're like when we're a goal down, what we're like when teams press us, we still haven't got better in that department. That's where it's hard.
Flex, as I've always say with statistics can be manipulated to whatever argument you want to make. So those that will be very anti Ruben Amorim, there's a ton of negative statistics
Loads
you
of
can
evidence
pick from. If you're pro Ruben Amorim, it's not to say there aren't positive statistics to pick from, because there are. We just mentioned them. The fact that our top 3, what is it, XG or something like that, and you're sixth in the Premier League, 1 loss in 9, and there are positive and negative stats to pick from. Ultimately, what will either save or cost Ruben Amorim his job this season is where Manchester United finish in the league. That's it. I think that is, at the moment, I think, Ineos will be, you see those reports that you have Ineos looking at sort of underlying metrics and those positive statistics. They're pointing that to the sign of progression. But ultimately, the bread and butter will be where do United finish in the league. If United finish in a European spot this season, Ruben will keep his job. If he doesn't, he'll probably get the chop. And they're waiting for this season to play out before they make their decision on that. And they're certainly not going to make a mid-season decision on it whilst we're, in and around those conversations, which we are at the moment. Which is why after that, Everton game or the West Ham game, this is what I said at the time. Those that will be calling for Amorim's head then, you're shouting into the void because you're still only a couple of points off a European spot, and that's what happens. You go and win a game against Wolves, and then, you're back, less pressure. We go and lose against Bournemouth, the same outrage and anger will happen. I'll do it. But then we might win the game after that, and then we'll be back around the European spots. I'll be right. Yeah, there you go. That's going to be the season. That's going to be the season. Like we said yesterday, it is going to be an emotional roller coaster. Strap yourself in. I can't even say that I'm going to stay calm because I said that on Monday and I didn't, So that's what it's going to be. As far as progression, I mean, like you said, in terms of the eye test, I watch us play football and I go, I've kind of seen this before, under different managers where it's kind of samey. Sometimes we have lots of shots, sometimes concede lots of shots. We still can't pass the ball. We haven't been able to pass the ball for it feels like half a decade at this point.
Yeah, can't keep the ball. All of that stuff. Crazy.
But at the same time, if you'd have said to me, 10th of December, at the start of the season, if you've gone 10th of December, you'll be 6th. How many points are we off Champions League football? We'll be 6th, and we're a point off 5th, which can get you Champions League. We're level on points, we're 5th. I can get you Champions League, and we're a point off 4th. That will get you Champions League. I'd have gone, but in December, yeah, I'll have that. And of course I'll have that. No problem at all, because the season doesn't end in December. So, just got to let the season play out. That's it. And that's not what people want to hear, because they want to see action. You want to see, be proactive, but it's going to have to see how it goes. And that's exactly what I said, Z. So now we're 6th in the league is shit, according to Owen, by the way. Cheers.
you
didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say that. It's
but that's
exactly
what you
I
meant.
Exactly, exactly what I said. Exactly.
Say what you mean,
said,
Owen. Mean
honestly.
what you say.
Yeah, exactly. And unless we win the Premier League, we're Manchester United. We've got standards, for goodness sake. Your standards are on the floor. God, I tell you what, Flex, 10-0 against Bournemouth, or he should go. He should hand in his resignation. Should go. Your Ruben out agenda. That's what it should be. Your Ruben out agenda. How dare you? How dare you? Chastise.
Yeah,
Haven't you seen Flex on Monday against Wolves? Ruben Amorim, he coached like a 9-1. He coached a 9-1. It was only 4-1. Players on the players. Don't do that. Don't do that.
True. That one he's coached this or he's coached that. So he
never
coaches a loss, but he always coaches.
It's always coaches. Always coaches. That's how it works.
So if we lose, we shouldn't have lost because he coached a win.
Didn't you realize, Flex, when he does the thing on the tactical board, that's perfect. There is no flaw in that. That is perfect. There is nothing ever wrong with that. It's all execution. That is it. I tell you what, Flex, no manager should ever lose their job. Ever.
No, because it's never their fault.
Because it's never their fault.
It's always the players.
Never.
He can't make them do he's not a puppeteer.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but Rob Edwards on Monday, he coached a 5-0 for Wolves. He coached a 5-0. But they lost 4-1.
Because when it was 1-1,
it's unfortunate for Rob Edwards because he coached a 5-0.
And he did say as well, they were defending like school kids. You gave Man United 3 goals.
Exactly.
That weren't my fault. They did it.
Tony Flex, he coached a 5-0. Rob Edwards. Yeah. Good coach. Good coach.
Terrence Pace says, I'm surprised how close the teams are this season so far. Not saying we can title challenge. Far from it, but glass half full so far, so good. Fair play. And that's, again, someone can look at what Terrence said there. Oh, is that what you're seeing? Come on, look how crap we are. You know what I mean? But he's like, nah, listen, I'm surprised how close it is. We're up there where we wanted to be. That's fine. I agree. Ash says true. My definition is, do I feel more confident in Man United? Yeah, that's a good definition of progress. I agree with that. Like, can we win games? And that's a yes. And Boomer and Ahmad provide me with confidence. Fair. So Ash is saying that's my definition, but my answer to it is yes, I do feel like we can because we've got Ahmad and Boomer. That fills me with more confidence. So I feel more confident that we're going to win games than last year. That's what Ash is saying. So for him, we've made progress. That's his opinion. Carl's on Charles says top 3 goals for goals scored. Yeah, more points than this time last year. Try stopping and sinking anchor dead in its tracks. Eric Ten Hag, SQ. What's that short for? Eric Ten Hag.
I don't know.
We knew there will be peaks and valleys. Then we see a valley, we scream, not good enough. Eric Sakin, I don't know. Eric Ten Hag, anyway. We knew there'll be hardships, and then when we see the hardships, we're trying to run a mile. So Carl's saying just chill out. Carl also says how we feel based on the past is not the reality of now. We are factually better. To think this is a top 4 side after one window and same side is delusional.
Z says here, because he says, bring up my previous comment, Flex, let Owen answer, because Z's saying I'm, having a go.
What was
Says
it?
no,
Okay.
no. I'm saying you're judging progress on us being sixth because the league ain't good. That ain't true. It's been one of the most competitive leagues. I would say, Z, you are saying things that I'm not saying. I literally said, if you'd have offered me at the start of the season in December, sixth and a point of Champions League or level on points of a Champions League, well, I would take it. So how am I saying that's not progress? As I said earlier on, Z, progress is your definition. It's whoever's definition of progress is, right? And this is also part of the problem with the fan base at the moment. Someone says something, and then they'll say, "No, actually, you said this." And
What are you saying? Z's part of the problem? Like Z's a bit problematic.
I would say, actually, listen to what people say. You know what I mean? We go back to it earlier on, Flex. Like that video last night. Let's have the Cunha conversation. So you hate Cunha? Did you hear what was said? Did you hear what was actually said? So we put up the comment, and I answered it. And my answer back to you, actually, Z, would be, did you listen, or were you typing and not listening? Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes
Z's being very Z. I'm not gonna lie. I've known this guy quite a while. It's a bit passive aggressive there, sort of suggesting that Z, do you have a response to that? Was you typing and not listening?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's the KG thing. It was the KG thing. KG was right with this before. It's so true. Whereby there's nothing worse than being told I got him. Yeah, that's backing down. Z, that is backing down. You think
that it wasn't trying to rage bait you? You just think you've done him, and now he's like,
that is backing down. You know when you're in a friend group, yeah. You know when you're in the group chat and someone says something stupid, and then you go in on them and they go, "Oh, bait." They do the fish emoji.
Yeah,
thing, you know what I mean?
And
they go, and they go bait. They go, "I baited you," and you go, "No, you haven't been baited."
No, you actually meant that, but
you said and then you said something silly. That's really what happened. Yeah, it's that. It's the little fish reel thing. Yeah. Oh,
Z, they don't believe you, Z. They don't believe you, Z. They don't believe.
It's like nibble, isn't it? It's like nibble. You go, got you to nibble. You go, no, you wouldn't. You're stupid, actually, what you said there.
So when are you, because there's two sides to that as well, of like when you do actually get a nibble though, but you did actually mean it, but people can say, no, you didn't.
It's such an out, isn't it?
It's the feeling.
It's such an out. It's such an out. It's such an out. That's like me going, let me pick a player that's not that good. I tell you what. Yeah, Flex. Do you know who's actually one of the best players in the league at the moment? Victor Gyökeres. You just don't understand how good he is, and everyone goes, "Wow, wow!" What are you talking about Gyökeres? And I go, "Got you." And he go, "No, you didn't. You thought that. You thought that. It's true."
It's Steph's like, well, I'm glad I'm not in any groups like this. She lives a nice, comfortable life.
Yeah,
that is true. It does happen. It does. Of course, it happens. Yeah,
we all know those. We all know those people. We all know those people.
You mean like how Owen's actually hammering him out, but pretends not to be?
Why do I pretended not to be? By the way, I said he should go earlier on this season. This is.
Yeah, but you apologized. You said you was wrong.
I never apologized. I never apologized.
You said you did. You said, well, I
never
apologized. I could hold my hands up for that. I shouldn't have called for him to go that early in the season.
When going
That's
back,
what you said.
I never apologized. Those people that were saying you apologized to Ruben, I said, I'm not going to apologize. What for? What I said was, Flex, I said that I was wrong. I said I was wrong for saying that he should have gone earlier on in the season because he was never going to go this season.
That's apologizing.
No, apologize and say I'm sorry. There's no apologize and say I'm sorry, or I apologize. That's not apologizing.
Yeah, it's apologizing without saying the word sorry. Admitting you was wrong. Admitting you was wrong is saying sorry.
I don't think so. I don't think that is.
Actually, I was wrong, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry I did it.
What's going on here? Chat. You backtracked, says Courts. No, it's not Flex. Fair play.
I don't think that's apologizing.
You can be wrong and still not sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm not sorry I did it.
Yeah, you said I hold. I remember it. You said it was only not long ago. You said I hold my hands up because I shouldn't have asked for him to leave that early in the season. But
when he never was going to.
Also, so the reason why you shouldn't have asked that so early isn't because you want him to get sacked is because actually I'm asking for something that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Okay.
Right. And in that scenario, you might as well then just try and support the team and the coach as best as you can. But that's why, remember when we won those 3 games and it was, you need to apologize for Ruben, and then we lost a bunch of games and those people start asking, that's why you shouldn't apologize. That's ridiculous. I'm not apologizing.
Speaking of something, I wanted to bring this up really quickly. There was UV Clips put up a clip yesterday, and it was very interesting. I'm going to bring it to the chat. Here we go. Oh wow, that's really good. Right, cool. There you go. Let's pause that and let's share this. Present. Share screen. This one here. Right. Can you all see that? Yes, you can. Telegraph. Yeah. Right, let's get off that. Listen to this.
Oh.
Sure, I think Mason Mount. Flex's unpopular opinion is aging very well. This was on the 22nd of August. Mm-hmm. Yes, do we all agree that that's that?
Yes.
Roll VT. The Champions League. Luke Shaw, I think I already said that when he is fit, is a really special player. And you can see it every time he plays. It's really important for us to have these guys available for more matches. So here's what's going to happen, guys. Here's how this is going to go. And I'm going to say this now. So this really will be Fleck judge if the thing happens. I'm going to say this now. Mm-hmm. I think these guys have put most of the darkness behind them, and I think they're going to go on a good run. Fleck. Look at Owen. Look at him. I can't say that.
I think you're right.
This is what I think.
You're right.
Oh, Owen,
right.
That is
Owen,
judge and a half. My goodness,
judge and a half.
But
I've been thinking about it.
Darkness behind them.
Owen,
how dare you? Oh
Owen,
my God!
How dare I have that opinion?
Yeah,
Owen,
but you've got
me down.
Hey, my track record, by the way, my response there, I would still, again, I'm not sorry I did that, right? And I'm not sorry I reacted that way. I think that's with your track record, Flex, that's entirely justified. Even fair, now.
I haven't brought this up for you
now.
It's come off the back of you saying sorry about the other thing. I didn't actually bring this up. This is not to bring this up to say, are you sorry about this? I've actually brought this up of like, everyone says about the judge. And like, you know, I did say that Luke Shaw's going to like play a lot of games.
But again, Flex, you know, again, it's like there's still half a season to go, Flex. Let's not. Yeah,
but
you know what I mean.
But we can still
be careful.
Say, but then here we're going about progress. Is this progress for Luke Shaw?
Be careful.
Yes.
Be careful. Do you know what it is? Yeah, because this is why I had to teach you during the matches, right? Because you did this the other day. I forget what game it was.
Yeah.
Was it?
Don't share your opinion, Fleck. Because
what game was it?
I've learned.
It was. I forget which game it was. I think it might have been Palace. It was Palace, yes. It was the Crystal Palace one. And I beg UV Clips to go find this because I went mental at Flex at the time. Because you've got this like thing that you do where it's late in a game and the opposition will have like the ball in the final third. And then Flex, for whatever reason, will just go, well, they haven't really been testing us that much, have they? We look pretty comfortable. And you go, why did you say that? Why did you say that? And he can't help himself.
No, he can't to share my opinion,
it's when you say it. It's when you say it. It's like I wish someone could find the clip, right? UV Clips, go find it or whatever. We'll share it on the next show. But he does it all the time where it'll be in, and the chat went crazy at that time. They were like,
yeah, it was all wrong.
And
guess what?
You were like,
didn't have a save to make.
You were like, I'm just sharing my opinion. Yeah, but it's when you say it. You know, it's like when the ball's kicked into the box from a corner and you go, they've offered nothing on corners all day. And then you go, why would you say that? Why would you say that at that time? Whether you obviously, Flex, you've got no influence on the game. But
don't I? Oh, do I not? So
yeah,
then I can say what I want then.
It's just for the sake of anxiety, isn't it? It's just for the sake of,
This is a you problem. I can't help you with that. So I must silence myself and suppress my emotion. Because, just don't say that. Of course, all the stuff you lot all say. You lot say stuff every single game.
Court Star says relevance to the situation. My point being is Flex either subconsciously, I think he kind of likes the judge. I think he kind of likes the judge.
He likes he wants us to say that so that we lose and then it goes against him.
I don't know. Why do you do it then?
because it's how I feel about the game. I was like, Sally Lommans hasn't had anything to do this half. He hasn't had to make a save. Yes, that's what I've observed.
So, but you could say that when the ball's in the middle of the pitch, but why would you say that when literally a ball's going in the box?
Out, bro.
Why would you? Like Danny Luciano says, would you say that in every life situation?
Out.
Do you get in a car and just go, I tell you what, no crashes today? You'd be like, Flex, you're driving. Don't tell me that in the car. Or get on a plane, strap in, you go, you know how rare it is for a plane to crash? You'd be like, well, why would you say that? Why would you say that at that time? Why would you do that? You know?
Can I ask a question?
You wouldn't do those things. You wouldn't.
Can I ask a question then? Can I ask a question? Are you allowed to do this on the other side of the coin then, of being positive? So, like, I tell you what, I think we're going to score. I think we're going to score here. Goal's coming.
Yeah, you can do that. Because it comforts you.
You can do that.
It makes you feel better. Just again, you wouldn't like in every life situation. You wouldn't go. You just go put something in. I don't know, a plug in the socket. You go. No one ever gets electrocuted by this. And then you go. Well, why would you say that leading into it? Why would you do that?
Because that's also comforting to show people about the proportions of the percentages of bad things that happen. So you know you're in a good percentage. That's important to share. It's like going up in a hot air balloon. You go, listen, mate. I tell you what, last time one of these crashes was like 1906, mate.
Yeah, and then I would go, and I would turn to you and I'd go, why would you bring that up now?
And the reason why I would say is because you're feeling nervous. You're feeling nervous. You probably got misconceptions that this hot air balloon crashes all the time. It doesn't. They ain't even a crash for over 100 years, mate.
I would say I don't even want to hear that. Why would you even put that out in the ether? That would
comfort you. I would want to hear that.
Walking around.
Mate, if I got on a fair ride, I go, mate, is this all right? Yeah, what's the success ride? Is this all right? Yeah, yeah, mate. Honestly, mate, the it malfunctioned. I can't even remember when, mate.
No, but I wouldn't know because that's wrong there. Because I'm not asking you the question, am I? When the ball's coming in the box, I'm not going. When was the last time West Ham scored from a corner? You're just throwing it out there. You're just going. No, they won't score. They never score from corners, or nothing's really happened here. Walking around in a thunderstorm and lightning and going. Do you know how difficult it is to be hit by lightning? That's you.
Well, I tell you what is you as well, saying sorry for something that you're not sorry for. That's
I didn't say sorry. That is projection.
Yeah. Backtracking.
I didn't do that.
Backtracking or reeling it in a little bit. Went too far, come back in a little bit. That's what you did.
Flex.
That's what you did.
If you're going to try and accuse me of being flip-flopping, you are on shaky ground, my friend.
Well, it's not flip-flopping.
You are
changing your opinion, ground. Remember? New evidence provided itself to you, and then you changed your opinion. Good.
So if I'm changing my opinion, what's wrong with that? Then what's wrong?
I'm saying admit it then. Nothing wrong with it. New evidence presented itself to you, and you went, actually, in hindsight, probably shouldn't ask for him to get sacked. That's what you said. I never said it. You said it.
Yeah.
There you go. So
what have you said? What have you said?
I've said I'm not talking about the manager's thing because I still maintain the same position, but it's not healthy to keep talking about it after every game, so I'm not. That's what I said. Didn't say I shouldn't have said it. Didn't say I apologize. Didn't say
I didn't apologize.
Well, I don't know. Feels like you did, mate. Shenanigans says statistically we're putting up numbers as good as City. Sounds like a deflection from you. Statistically, we're putting up numbers as good as City and Arsenal. The issue is it doesn't look that way on the pitch. Give us Haaland and we are winning 21. I mean, just get Haaland, mate. Just get Haaland. Christian says, thoughts on Aminor's punishment for Kev coins on Wolves win? Oh, what he wanted Wolves to win, didn't he?
Wolves to win. Oh god.
Yeah, I think so. That's really bad.
And this is the other thing. Yeah, you want to criticize, for flip flopping or whatever. KG the comedian, he did that earlier on the season. He said, "I want Man United to lose."
Lose against Sunderland, yeah.
And then
he's apologized for that, though.
And then he flip flopped and Ruben, and he did say sorry. He did say sorry.
Yeah, he did. He did say sorry. To be fair, he did.
And now he's Ruben in.
He's definitely he's Ruben in, and he said I won't change no matter what as well. So he's also proving that whatever agenda happens, like if we lose 6 games in a row, he's still going to make sure that he stays Ruben in because he said I have to be that.
And as I've said to him when he said that, because I remember him saying that he's like I'm not changing that for nothing or whatever. I said that's a lie.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
He did call that out. Yeah.
And then he got angry that I called that out because I went that's a lie, and he went how can you say that's a lie? And I went because you've done it before. It is a lie. Of course, he'll change his mind. Of course, by the way, of course, everyone would change their mind. That's supposed to. Eric Ten Hag's a criminal, by the way. Now, you know,
Yeah,
those people that were backing him, are they flip floppers?
No, as an Evertoner, I would say for your own sanity, rather take it a game at a time. Keep an open mind. Yes, we won 4-1, but judge this game on the next game's result. Consistency is more important than once in a blue moon big wins. Couldn't say it better
I agree.
ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Super chat of the day. Super chat of the day. All right, people. Big up to each and every single one of you. Eventful show, fun show, loads to talk about, loads of accountability taken. In this loads of accountability taken in this show, and that's what it's all about. Be honest with yourselves and just take accountability for what you do and what you say, you know. And we'll all get along fine. So yeah,
that is mad, isn't it? That, like now, like it's dangerous to say that you were wrong on something, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you can't be doing that.
That is so dangerous, isn't it?
So it's better to admit you wasn't wrong, so that you can't get called a flip flop and just stay in your position. So.
But what happens if you're getting pressured to do it? You know what I mean? You admit that you were wrong.
No,
and
don't
then
do
if
it.
you say, but if you say you were wrong, then you're a flip flop. But that's what they wanted you to say.
Yeah. It's called being stuck between a rock and a hard place, I believe.
Yeah. Wow.
It's called being snookered.
My hair's falling out as it is by the end of this. Oh, Ruben. You know, they say like the Man United manager before and after. I'm going to have a before and after Ruben thing. I'm going to be...
Full court press has been activated, mate. Constant press.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Constant press. All right, people. Big up to each and every single one of you. We'll see you soon. Great show. Have a good day, man. It's hump day. Big up. Peace.